Hello and welcome to Comfort Legacies with Fay Michelle. Today we have our lovely guest here, Mr. Derrick Lewis, and I'm going to turn it over and let him tell us a little about himself. What's your name and where you from?
My name is Derrick Lewis. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky.
You are the people's poet. Tell us a
Yes,
little bit
ma'am.
about that.
But it started. I was trying to play around with like I always say, like I always do poetry, like for the people, like what people are thinking. So that's why I came up with the people poet.
Okay, so is that your book title?
8813, the continuation of a legacy.
Right. Okay.
And I got
So,
the 8813. It's like a combination of the last two digits of me and my daughter birth years.
okay, so tell me a little bit about that book. What is it about?
This book is like basically like poems have to do with like social justice and then the everyday struggles we all go through.
When did you publish the book?
I published this book in March of this year, like March 23rd.
What was your first book that you published?
My first book was called 8813, The Realization of a Dream, and that came out April 3rd, 2019.
Oh, okay. You published them pretty close together.
Yes, like every book I done put out like within a few months of each other. Like I know last year I put out my second and my third book within 7 months of each other.
Okay. And then what was your first book?
My first book was my first book was this poetry book. My second book was called Coming From Where I'm From. It's basically about how I grew up, but it's almost like I'm narrating because like I was talking about me, but I had different name. My mom had different name. My sisters, all that had different names.
Okay. So more like an autobiography. You just changed the names.
Yes.
Okay. So how did you start writing these books? How did you prepare yourself for this?
Well, I've been writing since like '05, '04. I always kept saying I was gonna put a book out. I was gonna put a book out, but things kept happening and all that, and I kept putting it off, and then I just had to look at myself in 2019, like you got to do it. You can't keep telling people you're gonna do it and don't do it.
Okay. So did you go to a literary house or did you just publish them yourself? How did you um, do the mechanics of your book?
I self published my books. I did all of it myself.
What platform did you use?
Like on Kindle, and then I think my first and second book I went to Lulu.com.
Which one do you like best?
Probably I'll probably say Lulu because I'm still getting like out of all my books, like I don't have people buy my first book more than my other books.
Okay. All right. So how did you promote them?
Like on my various social medias, like my Facebook, my Instagram, and just word of mouth. And then like I order my own books, and then I just sell them myself instead of
Okay.
people instead of people like just going online and waiting like. And I tell people like you get it for me, like I autograph it and leave a personalized message in there for people.
Okay. So that's been going pretty well, huh?
hmm Yes, I have. Like last year, I did my first virtual book signing. That went fairly well because like I think within like an hour after, I had like like 5 sales back to back that night
Okay.
on Facebook, and I went live on there, and that's how I did it.
Okay. Okay. Had a pretty good turnout.
Yes, I did. I'm planning on doing another one this year sometime.
Okay. All right. Did you design your own book covers or did you use a platform or something like that?
My first book, my second book, I designed them. My third one, I got a cover made, and then my last one, I did it myself.
Okay.
What was interesting about my third book, it was called 8813 R.I.P. Bleed Pieces of Me, and I had a poem in there about the Breonna Taylor case, and I reached out to her mom via Facebook, and I told her I was gonna give her some of the proceeds for the book, and I don't think she was expecting it because I actually did it. I asked her for a cash app, and she sent it to me, and I sent it to her, and she was surprised.
Okay. All right. That's awesome. So, can you recite one of your poems?
Recite one of my poems. Like this
Ye-
is this is a poem I did. I think it was the first. It's like a poetry slam I did. I did it about my life. It was called My Testimony. I got diagnosed with epilepsy when I was 6, and I almost died multiple times. I almost went blind a couple of times. When I was 16, I messed up my knee. My doctor said I wasn't gonna walk again, but 2 months later, I started walking like a freestyle. I did on like I bought like a couple written poems that I always did with me. I heard other people coming up talking about how they grew up in the streets, had they been in the streets, and then something that came to me like I'ma just flip it. Like they talking about the streets, and I can talk about what it could take from me. I got to stand on ovation from that.
Okay. So, what did you write for Breonna Taylor?
About the case and how she was taken from us, like so she was taken from us sadly, but we will always live with her in our memory. Like always honor her. Like so, I just always been like that. Like real, like conscious of my surroundings and what's going on. Like I could be, I could be sitting here watching TV or walking down the street. Something happened. Just a poem pop up in my head. I gotta write it down or something. Get out there.
Okay. All right. So, what advice would you have for someone who is wanting to write a book and does not know where to begin?
The advice I would have for anybody that's trying to write, like just start off like be true to who you are. Don't try to be like somebody else. Try to brainstorm first. Don't try to go all into it. So you're gonna get overwhelmed. Just try to brainstorm. It's not gonna come just like that. Like sometimes it might hit you one day and you're not expecting it. So just be you, be who you are. Don't try to change up, be like somebody else. Just try to just stay with what you know. Like if you don't know about it, don't write about it. That's how that's how I am. Like even with my poetry, like if I'm right about something, if I don't know what it means, I'll look it up before I put it in there. Cause I don't want to write about something, say something because it rhymes, but I don't know what it means.
Okay. Well, that's good advice. Okay. And so, did you taught yourself how to do the books for KDP and Lulu? How was that experience?
It was kind of frustrating in that time, like trying to like to align it, the cover, make sure everything fits. That's what takes time doing, going back and forth. So that could be time consuming. You gotta have like patience to sit down there and do it.
Okay. Which platform do you find easier?
Um, they they pretty much the same.
Pretty much the same. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, how did it feel to get your first book in your hand? I know you've published several, but what did it feel like to get your books in your hand when you first published?
Like I couldn't believe that I actually did it when I was actually holding it in my hand. Like I still got like I got a poster board up in my house for my first book signing. You got a picture of me and my daughters on it. So that was so yeah, that was pretty a surreal moment. Like I actually did it and I'm holding it.
It's a really awesome feeling. And to put your thoughts into a book and be able to hold it, like you said, having it in your hands. Yeah,
Hmm.
very exciting. How old is your daughter?
She's 7. She'll be 8 in December. I like to say she's 7 on going on 27. The way she be trying to tell me what to do.
Okay. Have you considered writing children's books?
Eventually, I will. Like I'm planning on writing a book about my daughter's life. 'Cause she been through a lot more than I had to be 7 years old.
Really? What are some of
Mhm.
those things?
It's like the back and forth between me and her mother, like fighting for custody, and then like being taking out her mom custody twice, and they going to do false CPS cases by her mom, and her mom trying to keep her away from me for months at a time. Or I missed the first 6 months of her life because her mom and them kept her away from me. So she been through a lot more than I have.
Oh, okay. Okay. And how is she doing now? Hopefully she's adjusting.
Yeah, she's doing fine now.
Hmm. Is she with you or is it joint custody?
She's with me. I've been having custody of her for the last 5 years.
Oh, okay. Okay. Awesome. Was in fact, I have an interview with someone who is going to be talking about how he got custody of all his children and
Mhm.
after losing them to the system and he fought his way back and got all his children back. So he's and they approached him about writing a book about that. So
And
awesome.
it's funny. Like I don't know if you know the show on TV Fraternity Court.
I've seen some like that. I don't know if I know that one particular, but yeah.
That's how I found out my daughter was mine. We was on that show in 2014.
Oh my goodness. Did you write
Hmm.
about that in your book?
Yeah, I wrote a little bit of it. Like I still be like I was almost a local celebrity off of that. I still be having people write me on Facebook because they see me on TV.
Oh wow. You can use that as helping to leverage your book, huh?
Hmm.
Okay. All right. That's awesome. That's awesome. That helps with marketing.
Yes, it does.
You sound that was I see that smirk. It was like, oh, doing pretty good with that,
Hmm.
huh? Did you write about that experience in your book?
I think like little bits and pieces of it I did.
Then you know that's a book all in itself.
Hmm. My godbrother said something to me before that when I first got custody of my daughter, like, how you do that? You in Kentucky and you got custody of her from her mama? Like, I guess they seen I was a more stable parent, I guess.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Well, Derrick, is there any last words that you would like to leave to the audience on how to self-publish or, what some do's and don'ts?
Um, like I said, like if you gonna write, like approach it as like just be true to yourself. Don't try to switch up. Don't try to be something you not. Write about something you know. And
Yes.
far as self publishing, like you gotta do your research on it first and know it's gonna be time consuming. Like you're not gonna get it all at once. You're gonna take time like for formatting and get the pictures right and all that. And it for most marketing in itself is not easy because you still gonna have some people like they don't despite all you did, you still gonna have some people that don't believe in you, like don't give into that. Keep going. Cause if you stop, they won if you stop. Just keep doing you. Like you gonna get to where you wanna be. Like just don't listen to nobody else. Just block that out.
Okay. Good advice. Um, did you have your own editor, or what sources did you go through, if at all?
Like I sent it off to like a editor friend of mine. With my poetry, like I really don't
Yes,
focus on editing that much because I don't want to edit it too much where it's come off sounding like not me. Like I try
yes,
to keep my poetry as authentic as I can.
yes, yes, absolutely. Well, and that lets you know, since you are the people's poet, I thought you had something to say about the
Mhm.
poetry. Um, that's good advice. So if you're editing and you have a manuscript, then you can send it off to an editor and for proofing or whatnot. But if you are a poet, there you have to be careful with edits taking
Mhm.
away from the message, and so keeping the words the same pretty much. And that's what's so wonderful about self-publishing as well, right?
Yeah, 'cause
So
I look at my each one of my poems. I look at my poetry like my kids almost. Like I'm not gonna correct every little thing just to make it like where it seems like more intelligent to some people. Like I'm not gonna change it.
right, right, for your kids. um I wanted to mention the last thing about Breonna Taylor. You said, did her mom ever respond back to you? I know she gave you her cash app, but did she did she respond back with any comments?
Oh yes, she did. I actually sent her the poem that I did. I sent it to her, and she told me she loved it and she appreciated that. And I felt compelled to like, cause I don't want to be like I'm benefiting off her and all that. So I had to felt like I wanted to give back.
Yeah, absolutely. That is very commendable of you, Derrick. So,
Thank.
well, Derrick, I appreciate your time, and I'm grateful that Christo reached out to you and had you to reach out to me. And it's been a great pleasure to have you on the platform. I thank you for being here today.
I appreciate you having me.
Okay. All righty, Derrick. We will see you the next time, because I'm sure you're going to do that, what, fourth or fifth book?
Yes, I'm working on my fifth book now.
How long is it going to be? Hi.
Say hi.
And
um,
what's your name?
My name is Saya.
Saya?
Josiah.
Josiah. Ah, nice to meet you, Josiah.
With you.
yeah, I don't
I have
really.
a grandson. His name is Asaya.
Mm.
I write children's books. All
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
right.
Yeah,
See, Josiah?
you
See
see
that?
it?
Mm-hmm.
I write children's books. That's one of them. This is an activity book. I write them with my grandson.
Daddy don't let me wait.
I'll let you right.
Daddy don't let me wait with you. I'm cleaning my room.
Okay, all right. Well, that's a good thing. Well, it was nice to meet you, Miss Josiah.
Say
Thank
nice to meet you.
you. Nice to
Thank
meet
you.
you. You can call me Queen Bee.
Queen B.
You
Okay, Queen B.
can call him King D.
King D and Queen B.
It's a
That's the
banana. I was eating a banana on the way home.
Yes, this has got to have that green banana. And it's a story about me when I was a little girl and I had to have a green banana and the consequences that I had to face with
No,
my.
bananas is yellow, not green.
Right. That's right. You're absolutely right. And that's why I had to have the green one because I had not seen a green one before. See? And I had a little shirt to go with it.
My daddy said I'm smart because I know what pi equal to. You wanna know?
Yes, tell me.
It equal to 0.35.
0.35. Hmm. You're smart.
Hmm.
Yeah, she
Okay.
just said that to me out of nowhere one day. She came home from school.
All righty. Well, thank you for popping in on us. We're gonna go and see you the next time.
Okay. Look at my silver teeth.
Oh, you got a silver one.
I
Is that
got a
from too
lot.
much candy?
Daddy don't have a silver teeth because he don't eat much candy. I do.
Right.
I'm gonna go vacuum.
Okay. Bye bye. Nice to meet you.
Okay, it's gonna be wild. Bye.
Bye bye. Okay. Thanks so much.